Hey guys, it's Jacqueline and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. So today's video is going to be more builds from my Recreating Stars Hollow series, and so this is on the same lot. As you can see, there's already another building here. This is on the same lot as Lane, Zach, and Brian's apartment. So that was my last video. If you want to see it, you can check it out and it'll be in the cards and the playlist that's linked and blah blah blah. So you can see that one too if you want to. And this is the fourth video so far in this series. So far I have done Luke's Diner, as well as Taylor's Old Fashioned Soda Shop and Candy Store, and Stars Hollow Books all in one building. And I also did the park, that's like the town square area with the gazebo and stuff. And then I did, like I said, Lane, Zach, and Brian's apartment. And this is going to be Weston's bakery and also Miss Patty's dance studio. So this is just another part of the town square. And this is the, well, once this build is finished, this is the last build in the town square area, and then after that, or the second to last, I'm sorry, and then after that we have to do Kim's Antiques, and then we'll be done with the town square. And then I am working on the other builds as well, so I plan to do Dragonfly in the Gilmore Manor, which is like where Emily and Richard live, and also Lorelai and Rory's house. So that is the plan so far, just getting you all updated if you haven't seen the series yet, or you know, you just weren't sure exactly what was happening. But Weston's bakery is the first build that we're working on here. It was kind of difficult to recreate. I had to go through and find a lot of pictures. I did like a lot of internet deep diving to find pictures of the outside of this build, at least. The interior was a lot easier. The exterior you really only see in shots where they're like walking past it. Like I think in the first episode Rory walks past it and they sit outside it a couple of times, but the outside does not really match with the inside very well, so I had a difficult time with that at first, but I think I figured it out okay. What I ended up doing is that if you see it in the show, they have like a little dining area in the front of the, like in front of the entire building, but I put it on the side of the building instead, so there's still an outside dining area. It's just not like technically part of the like technically not exactly how it would be in the regular build. So I think it still works out okay, and I really like the way this build turns out. So Weston's is a bakery in the show. I have it so that it can function as a cafe or a retail lot where you sell like cakes or muffins or whatever. And I have fully stocked the like fridge item from Get to Work, where you have like cakes and baked goods and whatever. And I did that about halfway through the build, so you will be able to see that when we get onto the furnishing of Weston's, because I just really think it looks, well, even if you don't like use it as that functionality, it looks so cute in my opinion. And then I also use the cafe item that we have from Get Together, I think, and that item allows you to click on it and you can buy like coffees and stuff like that, and you can also buy a few different pastries, but not like, it's not really like a bakery type of thing. It's more like a, here's a little place, like a coffee cart or something like that, you know, in terms of the things you can purchase. So I preferred it to be a bakery for that reason. So I think you'd be better off using it as a retail lot, because then you can buy your like cakes and muffins and donuts and everything like that I have stocked in that fridge thing, and then you can also click on the bar, whatever it's called, and you can buy all of the stuff that you would be capable of buying from there, like coffee and all of that stuff. The one thing is that I'm pretty sure you'd have to hire your own barista to make it fully functional, but like for the sake of playing it out and actually getting the experience of going to a bakery and whatever, I just think it's better to use it as a retail lot. And that is just of course my opinion. And the other thing is that the apartment buildings are on the other side of this lot, so if you want to have your sim live here, obviously you'll have to have it as a residential lot, because we can't have multifunctional lots yet, crossing my fingers, because that would be amazing I think. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of multifunctional lots in this build series so far, and I really, that's something I'm realizing how badly I want, but unfortunately we don't have it yet. So this is obviously only functional as one thing, and I don't know, I don't really think that, I think if you were going to use it as something, I would prefer to use it personally as the bakery and the retail lot rather than living here, because like it's not a very nice apartment. That's kind of the point. It's supposed to be like pretty shabby, but yeah. Anyways, now we're working on the inside of Weston's, and the thing about this build, like the interior changes a lot throughout the show, so I had a kind of a hard time like determining exactly what I wanted to do. And then the other thing is that I didn't notice this while I was building Luke's, but I think it's the same way in Luke's, is that the tables are all arranged so that they're perfect for like filming. So usually when I would put a table in like a corner, I would put the chairs on like the opposite way from where it is now, which is like what you're seeing right now, is so that if they had cameras looking at this table, like you would be looking at the characters talking to each other. It's called like turning outwards or something. I don't know. I used to do acting, not anymore. I mean, no, I took a drama class freshman year. That's not acting, but you know, I tried. It was bad for me, but anyway, the point is that there's like a functional reason behind why they have them like that. So I decided to put them like that just to recreate it as much as possible, but I think you could get like more tables fit into the entire bakery if you had it the other way around. Like if you didn't have them, I don't know, just if you weren't really worried about the camera angle so much and you were trying to make it more functional and just stuff it full of as many tables as possible. But yeah, overall, I don't think that's too big of a deal, and you can obviously change it up if you want to. I did playtest this build, and as far as I know, every single chair is functional. Or actually, I think there's 2 that aren't functional, but I decided to just leave them because I don't think it's that big of a deal if like a few chairs don't really work. But anyways, so Weston's is like, it's owned by this lady named Fran, and she's like an old lady. Her name, obviously she's Fran Weston, and it's like a family-owned bakery, I think. And they've been open for like 100 and something years, I think. It says that somewhere in the show. Like 112 or something like that. And yeah, so basically it's just got a lot of like kind of vintage flair to it. There's a lot of decorations everywhere. There's just totally like stuff all over the walls, which is a really common theme that I'm noticing among like every single build in this entire series. They just don't, they put stuff everywhere. I can't imagine like how expensive it must have been to make these sets, because there's literally just clutter and decorations in every place you could possibly imagine, which adds a lot to the like kind of charm of the builds, I think, but also it's a lot of work to decorate, and I'm getting a little bit worried that I'm like being sort of repetitive with my decorations, because I don't want to put like the same pictures in every single lot, you know? So I don't know. I don't think that's too big of a problem though, because like admittedly, I don't know, I don't think people are gonna like download all of the lots and like use it themselves. I don't know, I'm not really sure actually. I'm still like trying to figure out exactly what the point of this whole thing is. Like I'm just having a lot of fun with the recreation, honestly. I think I might want to make a bunch of like the townies, because that's one of the other things that Gilmore Girls is really iconic for is, oh my, did I even mention that this is from Gilmore Girls? Okay, so I'm recreating Stars Hollow, which is from Gilmore Girls, the TV show, and I hope I mentioned that in the beginning, but if I didn't, now you know. And anyway, so the townies are like a really iconic part of Gilmore Girls, because they've got like Babette, Miss Patty, obviously they have Fran, and they have Luke, Taylor, Kirk, like all these people, and they're just great and fabulous and stuff. So I thought I might want to recreate some of those, because they would just be fun to like have them maybe walking around. I don't know, obviously there's no way you could like really force them to be the ones that like happen to come and walk around your little build wherever you are, but I just think that would be fun to do, like as another little nod to Stars Hollow, I guess. And maybe that would be more functional with it too. I think once I finish this whole thing, I want to do like a camera tour. The issue with that is that my cinematic camera mode is so glitchy. Like when I try to take videos of it, you've probably seen it in my intros, because I do cinematic camera intros a lot, and they tend to be like a little bit choppy, and I don't really like it, but like it's the best I can do, so I go with it. But I think they would be even worse if I was trying to like in real time walk through a build, so I'm not really sure exactly how I plan to do that. I might just do like screenshots and talk through them, because I just want to like have one video at the end where I'm really showcasing everything that I've done, because this is going to be like a big project once it's done. I'm just having a lot of fun with it, and I think it's going to be really like, I just think it's going to be cool when it turns out, when it's done. So yeah, that is something that you guys should probably expect if you are at all invested in this and have any interest in that. So yeah, anyways, that is really what's going on in the build right now. There's not a lot to say, because the thing is that, I don't know, this build, I feel like it has a very like pink and frilly energy to it, if you know what I mean. Like it feels like there should be a lot of like super, I don't know, old lady decorations in here. Is that stereotyping too much? I don't know, but I did, because a while ago I did this apartment that was like a granny apartment, and that one was just full of all of this like pink stuff, and there was like, I don't know, just really traditional furniture everywhere, and there was clutter all over the walls and stuff, and I just thought that was such a cute build. But that's like not the way that this place is decorated, Like, it's definitely more of a traditional vibe, but at the same time, it's not like crazy pink everywhere or anything like that. So it's just sort of, I don't know, not exceptionally outstanding. I don't, like, there's no overwhelming theme of like one color or one specific vibe, which I don't know. Overall, I still think it's like really cute and stuff. So I'm just happy with the way it turned out. How many times can I say that? Yeah. But I do think overall, this is one of the ones where it's not really possible to do a complete recreation of it for a few reasons. First of all, there's like a lot of personalized pictures on the walls. Like if you look at the screenshots and stuff, or not the screenshots, at pictures of the actual Weston's bakery, and I have an entire Pinterest board. I had like 20 pins, pictures of Weston's throughout the show, and it changes up a bit, like the different decorations that they have and stuff. Also, the orientation of the lot, simply not possible. Like, there is no way for the outside of it to match the inside in terms of the decorations and stuff. Like, the whole, like, cafe counter section should be on a completely different wall according to the pictures I have, but that would mean that the windows are, like, misplaced and stuff, and it's all just messed up. So, I didn't exactly, like, I wasn't able to do it exactly how it would be in the show, but I tried my best. So I think my goal with this one was really just to have it like reminiscent of the aesthetic or the vibe, I guess. Like, I still think that you go here and you like kind of feel the same cutesy, like, I don't know, sort of granny-ish vibes, hopefully. I don't know. I think it all works out in the end. Oh, also I wanted to mention, I did not put a cash register in here, which you need a cash register to make it playable as a retail lot, so I replaced that plant that I have on the counter over there with a cash register, which should be functional, because if I remember correctly, your Sims, when they get like rung up or whatever, they don't actually use the cash register. They just like, a little worker Sim comes over with an iPad and they like tap away on it, and they're like, okay, there you go, buy your cake and get out of here, type of thing. So, yeah, to that end, I do end up moving that plant somewhere else. And that is pretty much it for Weston's, honestly. So Miss Patty's is what we do next, and this one, it was a whole adventure, let me tell you, trying to recreate it. There's so many things that just like, so basically, because there's like this fancy roofing debacle going on with the whole thing, there's like an overhanging roof, which frankly I just think kind of looks a bit weird in The Sims, but like I still did it because I wanted to recreate it as much as possible. And then also they have that like sort of thing that you see a lot in farmhouses. I'm not sure what it's technically called, but it's like there's little wooden beams kind of sticking out from the roof, and they have that in here. So I did recreate that eventually using this thing that we have from Get Together. That's like a little roof bit that has that in it. But at first I was trying to use a lot of different things, and it's sort of a whole, yeah, it's a whole mess. But luckily I cut a lot of that out, so you guys don't have to see it. You just see what I ended up doing, because I am happy with how it ended up. And you also see that later on I go back, I'm using this like greenish blue swatch a lot right now. I go back through and I change it to the completely blue swatch that is really common in The Sims, because okay, so there's like this swatch, and then there's also a sort of like regular blue, I'm really sure how to describe it, but it's like a muted blue kind of. That blue is very common, like it's all over cats and dogs, and there's a lot of it in base game as well. Now this seafoam green blue thingy, it's way more accurate compared to what is actually in the show. However, it is not really like very common in the game, so I wasn't able to use that one as much as I would have liked to recreate this barn, because overall I just think the blue would have, or the seafoam blue, I don't know, I'm not articulating very well which one I think, but I think you get the idea, would have worked better, but I just didn't have like enough of it, like it wasn't prevalent in enough of the different build items that I needed to use, like a bunch of corbels and stuff, it just wasn't there, so I ended up switching it all to the blue. At first I was trying to sort of like combine them, it just wasn't looking good, so I just ended up going completely with the blue, and I think it looks good in the end. So let me know what you guys think, because I don't know, I feel like it's good, but it also isn't totally accurate in the recreation as far as I wanted it to be. But I did have a hard time recreating this barn as a whole. I think I maybe did it kind of dirty, because in the show it's like a dance school, but it's also where they host the town meetings, and it's also like a place where a bunch of town events happen, so it's like, I don't know, like there's also a yoga class in here and stuff, and we see it a lot of different times in a lot of different like iterations in the show. It has a lot of different purposes that it serves, and I was trying to like make something where it could serve multiple purposes, but the thing is, it's like a 5x5 or a 5x6, I think. Like, I just didn't have enough room on the lot to make it huge, really, and so I didn't think it would be wise to make it into like a town meeting center, because that would literally be just like 6 or 7 chairs, I think, that I could fit in, and that's just not fun, you know, like that's not functional. That's not the kind of thing that we want for our town meeting center, and so I decided that instead I would use it as like sort of a dance school. The thing is, obviously we don't have like enough stuff to make it a functional dance school, so I just put out one of those like cardboard dance mat thingies from Get Together, because I didn't want, like, in the show there's no like fancy clear light up dance floor or whatever, which is what we have a lot in Get Together. So I just wanted to use the cardboard one instead to make it like still look more like the show, if you know what I mean. Like look a little bit more casual and thrown together, which is really the vibe. Like, it's sort of rustic, sort of like, honestly, there's like some Queen Anne stuff in there. It's all just very mishmashed, I don't know, but I do like it. I think when it comes together, it's sort of eclectic. I mean, it's definitely eclectic, but then I also like stacked a bunch of chairs and stuff, which you'll see when we get in there, to sort of be like reminiscent of the town meetings. Like, it's a little nod to the town meetings, you know, because obviously they would take out all those chairs and like just put them out in the building for the town meetings. But yeah, overall, I think this is still like, it's just a fun aspect of the build. It's not really functional very much, because there's not much you can do unless you want to, like, you know, hit up Weston's, grab a little cupcake or whatever, and then head over to Miss Patty's and dance on the dance floor. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But overall, yeah. And also, I should mention that these two builds are not next to each other in the actual TV show, nor is Lane's apartment behind them, but I just did the best that I could to like cram as many iconic places from the town in as possible, because Miss Patty's is technically next to like a brick building, and Fran's or Weston's is actually like on the end of a whole row of buildings, similar to the way that Luke's Diner is. So actually, I think it might be on the end of the same building as Dosey's Market, but I'm not doing Dosey's. I considered it actually for a while because, well, one, the outside of it is really nice, and I think it would be so much fun to try to recreate that in The Sims, but the interior would just be like so chaotic, because there's like no, like, what are you gonna put in there and be like, yes, grocery store, you know? It just wouldn't work. So I decided not to do that, unfortunately. But overall, I still think that having Weston's was a nice little nod to the show, and I say nod to the show, like the entire thing isn't a nod to the show, but you have to let me know what you guys think of what I've done so far, and if you have any other builds that you think I should include that I haven't mentioned yet, because I'm down to do anything. The issue now is more space related, and I'm struggling to find a lot of lots that like look really similar to the ones that I want to, that look similar to the builds that I want to recreate, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I already know which one I'm going to do Gilmore Manor on, as well as which one I'm going to do Lorelai and Rory's house on, and the Dragonfly Inn. Other than that, though, and Kim's Antique. So I guess technically I know which lot I'm going to do everything on right now. I'm expanding into Brindleton Bay for the rest of the lots, because obviously there's only 4 lots here, so I can't really fit everything in. So everything else is going in Brindleton Bay, because that's like the second most accurate world, I think, because the thing is, the town square area is sort of like the I don't know, commercial, if you will, area of the town, and it's not commercial. It still has like very small town vibes and stuff, and there's like still residential lots, like there's plenty of apartments and whatnot, but it's not as rural looking. I don't think rural is the right word, because like you still get the sense that you're like near a town, for example, in the Dragonfly and in Lorelai and Rory's house, but it's just a little bit more cut off from the town square area and like the hustle and bustle, if you will. And there's not hustle and bustle. The Stars Hollow has like 1,000 people or something like that, but you know what I mean. I'm probably taking this too seriously. So yeah, Brindleton Bay obviously also is a coastal world, so it works really well on that level as well, because the whole show is supposed to take place in Connecticut, and the Gilmore Manor is actually in Hartford, so it's not really in like the same small town type of thing, but it is sort of cut off from like any super commercial areas as well, I guess, so I think it'll still work well in Brindleton Bay. And that is pretty much all to say for the build, I guess. I've been rambling a lot about sort of just what's going on in the build. which is sort of atypical for me. I usually talk a lot more about myself. So how are you all doing? And I'm okay, I guess. There's just like, it's still sort of sinking in that we're not going back to school this year, which is like, I don't know. I mean, we have been out of school for over a month now, I think, so it's like, duh, you know, we're not going back to school, whatever, get over it. But at the same time, it's like, wow, I'm not going to see my friends again for the rest of the year. And I don't know, I mean, like, I'm texting people still, obviously, because I think that's really important right now, like, not losing contact with the people that you know, because, oh boy, would that be bad. I do not do well when I'm, like, super isolated, so I'm still doing my best to, like, talk to people and stuff. But, oh, one thing I want to mention with the build before I go back to my spiel about myself is that there's this wall where Miss Patty, because she was like a former Broadway star and stuff, or not a star necessarily, but she performed on Broadway, and she has this entire like area of her dance school where she basically just has a bunch of pictures of herself in like all of her different costumes and stuff from all the shows she's been in. And that was what I was trying to recreate there, and now you'll see me putting the podium and stuff. The podium being from the town meeting. Sorry, my voice is really weird today. I don't know why. But anyway, back to myself. Yeah, so I'm just sort of chilling, honestly. I know I keep saying it, but I'm like working harder than not harder than I usually do, but it feels like I'm working harder than I usually do, because there's no like breaking it up. Like usually at school, you go to school, right, and you like are there for 8 hours, and then I walk home, so that's like 30 minutes, or I have softball practice, and that's like 2 hours of like chill, and you just stop your brain from working. But now I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna build, and then I'm gonna do like more homework, and then I'm gonna do more build, and then I'm gonna do more homework, and then I'm gonna voice over this video, and after this I'm doing an hour of chemistry notes. So that's pretty much what's going on with me. But like overall I'm chill, everything is chill, and I don't know, it's just like I enjoy getting stuff done. Like on the one hand, I have a hard time sometimes like getting myself to be productive, but once I do, it's just like a fun time, you know, it's a good experience. So like overall it's fine, everything is fine. I think I'm really trying to get outside. I think that's really important for like this whole thing. Like make sure you leave your house, you know, because if you don't, you just you kind of shrivel up and die inside, you know. It's like a whole Boo Radley thing, and you're just like, wow, I really have not seen the sun for days, and I don't think that's good for people, like scientifically. So I don't know, it's just weird, because like I don't know what I thought. Like they said at first, because we were supposed to be closing our school for like 3 weeks, I think, and then they extended it to like another month and stuff, and for a while we were like, yeah, this is like fine, we're going back to school, like it's not the last time this semester that we'll see each other. That would be ridiculous, you know. Which honestly, like as a perspective, doesn't really make any sense. Like it's kind of naive of us, because I don't know, we thought like everything was just gonna be gone, it was gonna be eradicated. If you're catching my allusion to a certain government official that is apparently of that opinion, which is just medically incorrect. So yeah, I don't know, I guess that's what we thought, but it's just sort of sinking in now, I guess. But it's fine. We only really have like 3 weeks of school left, because I don't know what they're gonna do for finals week. So overall, I'm just kind of chilling and worried that I'm not learning stuff, I guess. Like, honestly, the learning, it's very hard. It's not even hard to motivate, it's just hard to, like, imprint the learning on my brain at the moment. So, either way, this is pretty much the end of the build. So, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you appreciate... Oh my god, I keep saying that. I don't hope you appreciated it. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you can leave a like and comment to let me know. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. Click the bell for notifications if you want to get notified every single time that I upload a video, and you can watch the rest of this playlist. It will be in the link in the description, and if you want to play in this lot, it will be on the gallery. My originality is in the description, and I'm not sure what it'll be called, because I just have no idea. Like, it's too many things to call it one thing, but that is pretty much it. Bye!